Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free.
No money.
So I legit just finished the reaction to Andrew Tate chopping it up during the section of that podcast they just dropped. You know what I'm saying? Editing it, getting ready for tomorrow, and then, you know what I'm saying, the algorithm, they fucking show Andrew Tate. At least the thumbnail says Andrew Tate's firing shots at Logan Paul. You know what I mean? So I gotta jump on that shit ASAP. Like the title of the fucking video says Logan Paul is a bitch. Andrew Tate calls out Logan Paul. You know what I mean? So I definitely gotta dive into that motherfucker. I mean, at least for me personally, I just, you know, mentioned that I just addressed that shit in the channel not too long ago because Logan Paul out here being a whole hoe, trying to fucking, you know, support the fucking targeting and the ban on Andrew Tate, trying to cancel him. But this is the same motherfucker that was damn near canceled 10 years ago for recording a victim of not too long ago. You know what I mean? Like he essentially going through the same shit Tate going through now, but he in support of a fucking content creator. Well, not even content creator, in support of a man getting banned. And at the end of the day, Tate did nothing wrong. We still don't know why the fuck he got banned. There's no writing out on that. It's just Big Tech can do what Big Tech want to do. You know what I mean? They don't have to fucking answer to nobody. They don't like you, they can get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? But Logan Paul actually did some shit far worse than anybody out here has been doing. And this is the same motherfucker that's gonna try to fucking call Tate out saying, I'm not gonna let him share my platform. I'm not gonna bless him to be in the fucking canvas with me to box, you know, even though Tate will fucking beat his ass. And I don't wanna fucking sound like a goddamn cheerleader out here, man, but it is what it is, dog. Like Logan Paul is... But, and we're talking about a fucking world champion kickboxer who represents fucking masculinity at its finest. Logan Paul ain't that. He's just a fucking, I don't know what the fuck I'll call him, grifter, fucking soy boy. Like he's cut from that cloth. He ain't no real shit coming from him. So with all that being said, I'm gonna have to fucking put the video I just recorded and edited on pause. Maybe I'll fucking post that after I post this one. But yeah, I definitely want to see what the fuck Tate got to say about some whack ass Logan Paul. They need to make that fight happen. And don't have no bullshit going on. Don't fucking stage no shit. Don't do nothing. But Tate doesn't need to. He got so much bread. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to see Tate go in there and beat Logan Paul down. But if Logan Paul, fuck that. What am I talking about? You know, I'm changing the topic of discussion. Fuck the fight. I want to see Tate, you know what I'm saying, talk that shit, you know what I'm saying, on Logan Paul, dog. Anyway, let's go. Oh shit, before all that, man, I never fucking promote my shit on this channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be asking about my merch. I got the fucking Hose of Headaches, you know what I mean? Hose of Headaches all day, every day. If you know, you know. I got the fucking If You Woke, I'm Sleep shirt. I got the masculine shirt with all the fucking facts of what the hell men are struggling with day to day on the back of that shit, you know what I mean? As far as divorce court, paternity law, you know, suicides, all, can't even say that word, but yeah, all that shit is up on my motherfucking shop, StevieKnight.com channel, man. So anytime y'all be fucking look at the shirts I have on, I see it in the comments all the time, where you get that shirt? I want to get one, bruh. It's my shit. Go to the fucking website, cop it, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's get it.
His brother said, you know, the shit that Andrew Tate says will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people that won't show for years from now, and it's dangerous. Now, this is what he said,
Is this Logan Paul you're saying?
But I want to say this before you comment on it. And then Junior supported you, Tucker supported you. I think the guys that like debate and comedians, people who appreciate humor, can understand that some of the stuff you're saying is funny as hell. You could be a comedian if you wanted to, but a person has to really pay attention to the comedy. But you know, some can run with it, some cannot run with it. When you hear the people that support and don't support you, how do you process that?
So first things first, I want to make it very, very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely not really a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. He doesn't stand up for anything, and he doesn't mean anything he says. He gets pieces of paper from Susan or whoever else telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel to retain it.
You believe that?
100%. Not only do I believe it, he's proved it himself. He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a bitch. Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants to, I'll fight him for free.
No money.
Yes, so that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, bro. He said, "Hey, fuck the bread. I will fight him for free." What's up, dog? Lace up, bro. Lace up, dog. You know what I'm saying? But nah, they never gonna do that shit. It's all about that bag, and that's why Logan Paul moves the way Logan Paul moves, because everything is about the bag at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's why he out here saying that dumbass shit he was saying about Tate. You know what I mean? Motherfucker, you was just in his shoes, bro. You was all here crying to the world, talking about the whole world's against me. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know what I'm saying? You got Tate out here fucking flexing nut, talking about what the fuck it is to be a man. He get canceled for that. And you want to fucking, promote your whack ass agenda that somebody, not even yours, it's what your team told you to do, because this is the golden opportunity to capitalize on, bro. You can goddamn go in this bitch and be the fucking face of those who oppose what the fuck Tate is, and then you can get a check off of that. You know what I mean? He a bitch to the bread. You know what I mean? He a bitch to the bread, which means he will never fight Andrew Tate for free. He gotta get a bag off that shit. But like Tate saying, bro, hey, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't even know you're told what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? If you gonna come at me and try to say you are genuine in this shit, then you will fight me for fucking free. But he would never do that shit, bro. He would never do that shit. You know what I mean? They're the only motherfuckers that are concerned about the money they make. Everybody else just wants to fucking see this shit happen, dog. So, dog, you can definitely distinguish between the bitches and the men. And Logan Paul's clearly a fucking bitch, bro. But all these motherfuckers are bitches, dog. They bitches to the bread, dog. Bitches to the bread. Tate out here saying, hey, straight up, you know what the fuck I am. You know what the fuck I stand, dog. The whole world attacked me. And I'm still standing, dog. Let's get it.
What he needed to fight Logan Paul.
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he says.
None at all.
Logan Paul is a man. If you ever were unfortunate enough to consume his content, I get sent clips of it all the time by people mocking him. As soon as something comes out, whether it's Harry Styles wearing a dress, whether it's Lil Nas twerking on the devil, whether it's this, he just sits there and goes, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great. He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're going to use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view that the whole Hollywood establishment want him to purport. He doesn't believe in the things he said. He's told what to say. And because he was canceled before and it emotionally destroyed him, he sat on camera crying his eyes out like a little girl instead of being a man about it. He is so fearful of the mob and so scared of being canceled again that he's going to sit there and say anything he's told. Fact. He doesn't believe that shit. Before I was canceled, him and his boyfriend Mike did endless videos supporting me, laughing about me, saying how funny I was, tagging me on Instagram, inviting me places, etc. The second I'm canceled, they flip reverse it and shit themselves because they don't want to get canceled too. They are children. That's all they are. So Logan Paul's a bitch. That's the first thing about Logan Paul. And what's actually been interesting about this whole cancellation thing is it hasn't negatively affected me in any serious way, because I've been saying on podcasts for years, I know a cancellation is coming. I knew it was coming. I knew that as I got more popular and more powerful to a degree that it was going to come. But what it has done is it has awoken the world, to anyone who's perspicacious enough to pay attention, to learn which individuals.
What the fuck word did he just say? What? I heard perspiration. Motherfuckers was sweating. What the fuck? I never heard that word before.
Is it has awoken the world, to anyone who's perspicacious enough to pay attention.
Perspicacious. Perspicacious. Google, define perspicacious.
Here's the definition of perspicacious.
Having
a ready insight into an understanding of things.
Damn. Having a ready insight into an understanding of things. Yeah, you know what the fuck's going on, bruh.
It's going to come. But what it has done is it has awoken the world, to anyone who's perspicacious enough to pay attention, to learn which individuals out here in the social media space actually have character and believe what they say.
Are real.
And which are completely bought and sold and are tools to the matrix.
Fake.
The people who have decided to stand up for me and say, no, this is bullshit, are people who have, to some degree, credibility. You know, this is people who say what they truly believe. But the people who were totally a fan and then post-cancellation shit themselves in 180, and to get a new piece of paper to talk from, that should tell out the public out there exactly who's controlled and whether these people have a genuine narrative that they're trying to report on the world. And it's interesting. Logan's one of them, and there's a few others. But I'm glad it happened just for that alone, because it's actually very clear. If you go to Logan Paul's last podcast where he's discussing me, all of his fans, and we'll talk about fans and viewers in a minute, because I think they're very different things. All of his fans, which he has none of, all of his viewers are sitting there insulting him, saying, bro, you're a fucking bitch. Like everyone, all of his own watchers are calling him names because it's so transparent and so obvious what he's doing.
Fans versus viewers.
Fans versus viewers, very different things. So he doesn't have any fans. He has viewers. And Susan and the Matrix and the people in charge of social media companies are like, okay, we've set our media machine. Let me ask you guys questions as professionals. Let's assume, as professionals, let's assume what I'm saying is correct. Let's assume that the social media companies, when they banned me, set their media machine to all release thousands of news articles at the same time, trying to convince the world I'm an evil man. If they had that degree of power and influence, which I think we can all probably agree they do, don't you think they'd take their number one talking piece to the demographic, which is my fan, and give him a piece of paper and tell him what to say? Does that not make sense? Does that make sense to say, well, we told all the news to say Tate's bad, and all of his fans are 18 to 25.
But you don't even need Logan Paul to say anything, bro. I don't imagine he add that much fucking fuel to the flame of like trying to burn Tate publicly, bro. Like, he don't got that much fucking influence, dog. Like, the amount of fucking attention Tate got worldwide shits on anything Logan Paul can influence worldwide, bro. You literally motherfuckers who don't know nothing about nothing, who knew the fuck Tate was because the media portrayed him as the most misogynistic man that ever fucking existed. That's not Logan Paul's world, man. So, but what it did do was provide a golden opportunity for him to fucking monetize hating on Andrew Tate and represent, a polarizing figure that had an opposing perspective of Tate and try to fucking criticize him and ridicule him or fucking chastise him for the shit that the whole world is attacking him for. So then now Logan Paul can be looked at as goddamn Mr. Chivalry and all that shit, male feminist type motherfucker. But it fits the fucking narrative in which we live right now. He's gonna get support from all the motherfuckers that hate on goddamn Tate. That's what the fuck that represented. But I don't imagine it would have fucking tipped the scale to like provide any more hate or spite or whatever the fuck for Tate. Like Logan's he's a big face, but he ain't that goddamn big.
5-year-old men. Who do we have on YouTube who obeys us like a little cock, who speaks to 18, 25-year-old men? Logan Paul. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. Do you want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you?
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch.
He ain't as big as Tate.
He 180'd from a super fan to talking about my rhetoric being dangerous in 24 hours.
There's a difference between you saying who you think he is versus you making the speculation that he got called by somebody to say, here's a narrative we want you to take, or else we'll silence you.
Well, Logan is not capable of independent thought.
There's a lot of conspiracy.
So someone didn't give him the narrative. He didn't think it up himself.
It definitely could have happened. And I definitely think that his team said, hey, you should fucking do this. While all this Tate shit is going on, this is the way to capitalize for you personally on all this Tate shit. Say the shit that everybody wants to hear about Tate right now. Say all the shit that Andrew Tate's haters want to hear. I don't think motherfuckers are going to threaten to cancel him if he didn't fucking, do what they said. But it could have happened. I'm 99.999% positive that Logan Paul didn't take it upon himself to fucking go out here and say that shit he said about Tate. You know what I mean? No, he was definitely, he did that shit for a bag.
Vessel. He says what he is told to say. Somebody, somewhere, told Logan what to say and what stance to take. We can argue whether it was a social media company, whether it was his manager who was fearful, whether whatever. But somebody sat with Logan and said, look, Tate's getting a lot of smoke. You were cool with him. Your boyfriend Mike was cool with him. He's getting a lot of smoke right now. You're going to bitch out. And he sat there and said, yes, sir. Yes, I will. Because he has no character or no integrity. If it was all the other way around, let's imagine he was getting canceled. And I truly believed it was unfair. I'd sit there on my own platform and say, this is bullshit. Because I'm not bought, sold, and owned. He's an owned individual. So he's always going to say what he is told to say. He's always going to sit on podcasts, speaking to the youth, promoting Harry Styles wearing a dress, saying that it's great that Lil Nas twerks on the devil in real time for our children to digest, and then say, I'm dangerous to the youth. Because that's what he's been told to say. Logan Paul has absolutely no capability for independent thought. He has no character as a man.
All facts. All facts. Man, we'll never know what is facts, but I would tend to believe what Tate says. You know what I mean? And I had already came to that determination myself before even having to see what Tate had to say about it. But I'd imagine, I assumed that he was going to say the same thing I'm fucking saying, man. But yeah, y'all know Logan. Like I say, Logan Paul is bought and sold, and he does what he's told. You know what I mean? You're a little Matrix hoe.